And I left. Although I liked it, it was interesting. I felt it did get a little bit college seminary at a time because it
Yeah.
wasn't. They did their best to try to be a little entertaining, but so it was a little better than a college seminar, more entertaining in that sense, but. Still a little bit drawn out for me personally. Even though I left 15 minutes early to go to my next to make sure I got in line for the next thing that we did. I did. It was How to Con, and it was not at all what I expected. I thought it was going to be some kind of bland professor up there telling you about the rules of the Youmacon. Can't do this, can't do that. No knows.
In that voice.
Exactly. To my surprise, I found a very funny man whose partner was not going to show up. It ended up showing up anyway. It was hilarious, absolutely funny as hell. And I found that a lot of people there, most people in fact, had already come to that in prior years. This is their 5th running year of doing that panel, and people just love their style of comedy so much that they just showed up. Also, they threw a bunch of crap out to the audience just for random sake. Do you have that the DVD I gave you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the ones I got thrown out at me. Some people got hit by DVDs and stuff, but it was okay. It was part of the experience.
Sorry that I'm going off screen for a minute, by the way. I'm actually looking for my Thursday schedule.
Don't worry, I'll handle this. And then but it just went really well. I found out they do a lot of other panels. It's but there's little problems with Youmacon. It's not perfect. They've detailed it in a comedic fashion that was just fun as hell to watch. And they, of course, they had a representation in the staff that was sitting in the audience, and they always had to make sure to watch what they said and watch what they did according to them. They played off each other quite nicely as well too. And then after that, we stayed in the same room for the Youmacon's Otaku Pop Quiz for Pointless Subtitle. You didn't come to that, right, Brent?
The pop quiz? No, I don't think I did.
Yeah, I don't think you did either. Anyway, you ended up doing something else, and but anyway, I stayed there, and to my dismay, Thursday is the day it's supposed to be all free. You don't have to pay to be there, and there's not much to do anyway, so it's a logical thing. But there's 2 kind of badges. I got this badge right here. This is just a regular 3-day badge. Paid $55 for it online, and went into pre-registers, which we talked about previously. There's also another type of badge you can get called it's called the Platinum Badge. And the Platinum Badge, it allows certain benefits to those people. So you can go in earlier, you can go to Maid Cafe early or something like that and talk to some of the guests of the Youmacon that are there. There's a bunch of benefits you get. You get to go to dealer's room early. There's a bunch of things.
But it's a lot more expensive.
It's about $120 more expensive.
Yeah.
So, not more.
If you can afford it, it's awesome. But if you can't, like us, then you'll still enjoy yourself.
I might be able to. I just don't want to. Anyway, but to my dismay, the one day where you're not supposed to pay to get into this thing, they started enforcing this platinum rule, saying everyone that's not a platinum member needs to get out, go on a line, come back in. And so after begrudgingly doing so, I go out line, come back in, get my same seat.
Yeah.
So it was literally pointless to the point of being pointless beyond pointless.
Love your description.
Yeah. And actually the panelist actually played off that quite well too, because he was staying there to do the next one as well, and he started saying, oh, so we only cater to the 1% now, the 1% they can afford these platinum badges. I'm part of the 99%. The 99%. We love feminism. We do this. We do that. How dare you ignore us? All that good stuff. It was very funny. And then after that, I believe we went home after that, didn't we?
Well, for what I did, I couldn't find my exact schedule. But after the mythology thing, if I remember right, all I did was pretty much look around, and I found the game room. The game room of Gamer's Heaven. It was basically video games of all sorts. They had arcade-style machines. They had pretty much every system you can imagine, including the older ones, even the Sega Genesis and such.
Yeah. They had a bunch of technologies built up for the PlayStation and Xbox, all that stuff totally free.
Completely free.
Everything
as long as you had a bat.
Even
well, not on Thursday, but...
Even the arcades games were free. No tokens, no
yeah,
nothing.
the pinball machines, you just pressed go.
Brilliant. It was wonderful.
And they had computers set up for the online games, and obviously they had tournaments that went with that, like League of Legends and such. And they had this amazing stage set up for Rock Band. All the instruments, 2 microphones for vocals. It was just brilliant. So I think if I remember right, I spent pretty much the entire rest of the time in there, playing Rock Band and League of Legends.
Yep.
And Thursday, I really didn't have too much. I think after I found the game room, I decided to just do that instead of going to the pop quiz thing, because it sounded fun, but it wasn't a priority for me.
So yeah, after the panel, it was 12 o'clock, midnight.
Yeah.
And so we went home then, which is when we discovered about the $18.
Right, that's where we discovered about the little issue with the parking. And, I mean, we had to deal with the guy who was basically getting everybody out, and he seemed like he just had a tough day. He was tired.
He wasn't very polite to me about it, yeah, but you know, he just looked like he was one of those very frustrated at the time.
Right. I mean, you can't really blame him all that much.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah.
But he just told us to go to the other side because he didn't really want to basically deal with us.
Pretty much, yeah.
And we paid by either credit card or whatnot, and I paid credit card just so I can get out of there instead of having to waste my cash that I brought for the dealer's room and such. Anyway,
well, we pretty much came home after that. I uploaded my pictures to Facebook, and we watched a couple videos and stuff. Nothing too big. And we decided on the ride home that I was going to look up on the Youmacon group on Facebook maybe some alternative options for parking. And I found one almost right away. Greektown Casino, parking completely free.
Completely free.
You have to ride the tram to get to Kobo or the Ren Center.
Not completely free.
Well,
cheap.
The parking is free. The parking is free.
Yeah.
But it's very cheap otherwise, just to ride the tram. And kind of fun.
Tram, not completely free. But here's something else I didn't know. You can go, when you're registering for your badge at Youmacon, you can go right to the side, and apparently they're selling tram passes for $5. Get the tram pass. If you're going to be all there all 3 days, if you're going to be there all 3 days, get a tram pass. Otherwise, it's 75 cents per pop of going anywhere around that thing.
Right, and the tram pass works all weekend, and you can use it as much as you want, right?
Yeah, you can.
That's an amazing deal. We unfortunately didn't find out about it until the end today. And
before you think about getting it so you can get all your friends in too, it does make you wait 5 minutes after using it in order to use it again.
Which is actually a smart idea,
Very
so
smart.
You don't abuse it.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I can understand,
it's
though, how some people might not
$5,
like
people.
That. Yeah. It's cheap. And
you paid $55 to get there.
Yeah.
I paid more because I had to drive 2 hours, but still.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on.